Now, the one last thing is, okay, so I know like in Mark and Matthew, it says that so this is Mary of Bethany now. This is not a sinful woman. Mary, yes. So in Mark and Matthew, it says that he anointed Jesus on his head. So now in John, it says that he anointed his feet and wiped it with her hair.
So it's an either or again? So can you show me Matthew and Mark saying she only wiped his head, not his feet? That's a myopic way of reading. Why do you read the Gospels in such a myopic fashion? So if I said, well, hey, my wife washed my head, and then tomorrow I say to someone, she also washed my feet. Where's the contradiction?
There is none.
So why do you keep reading it as either or, as if it's either this or that? So if she wipes his head, she won't wipe his feet? Or if she wipes his feet, forget his head?
You're right.
So what's the problem, sister?
That's not necessarily impossible.
What's the problem, sister?
I guess no problem.
Exactly. You keep reading the Gospels as if they are hostile witnesses in conflict, as opposed to seeing them as pieces of the puzzle that when you bring them together, you get the complete picture and the masterpiece. You've been polluted by Bart Ehrmans too much. May the Lord cleanse you of that. Is there a contradiction to say, on this day, I'm using an example because that's happened, my wife washed my head. But then tomorrow I say to someone else, hey, my wife, is washing my feet. Oh, you contradict yourself, Sam. You told me your head. Yeah, but moron, did I say only my head?
No, I didn't say only. Okay.
Then why do you read it as such? Why do you read into the text words and I'll give you an example of what I mean. One of the arguments of Bart Ehrmans is that in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, different groups of women appear, right?
Yeah.
At the resurrection Sunday. John 20, only Mary Magdalene appears, right? Okay. That's how he reads it. Only Mary Magdalene, right?
Right.
Okay, now, let me show you why you can't read them either or and assume that these writers are not giving you exhaustive details. They're being selective in the details they report, and the details are not contradictory. According to Bart Ehrmans, John contradicts Matthew, Mark, and Luke because only Mary Magdalene went to the tomb. Well, number one, does John say only Mary Magdalene?
No.
But now let me tell you why the man doesn't know how to read the Bible, because he's dishonest. Go to John 20, verses 1 and 2, to show you cannot read the Bible in this myopic fashion. Go to John 20, read verses 1 and 2.
Okay. On the first day of the week, Mary of Magdala came to the tomb early in the morning while it was still dark and saw the stone removed from the tomb.
Doesn't mention any other women, right?
Doesn't mention.
She came when it was still dark, so it's a crack of dawn, sees that the stone was rolled, and then what happens?
So she ran and went to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved and told them, they have taken the Lord from the tomb and we don't know where they put him.
We don't know? Who's the we?
The other women.
But wait, there were no other women. It's only Mary Magdalene, according to Bart Ehrmans.
He's stupid.
But you caught it, right?
Yeah.
What did Mary Magdalene say to Simon Peter and the disciple whom Jesus loved? Read verse 2 again. They
have taken the Lord from the tomb, and we don't know where they put him.
Who are the we? John only mentions Mary Magdalene.
It's not that he's only mentioned, but he's singling her out for important messages.
See, that's how the Gospels are written. The Gospels are written and selectively to emphasize a certain aspect of the narrative without implying they don't know the rest of the details or are contradicting the rest of the details, because they have a purpose. And to prove that they're aware, there's more to the story. Here, the same John who just mentioned Mary Magdalene, that's the only woman he mentioned, is aware she wasn't alone because he quotes her saying, we came and we don't know where the body is.
Right.
So that's why you got to stop reading the Gospels the way Bart Ehrmans does. Right?
Right.
So is it helping you, liberating you to trust the Gospels fully and stop letting critical biblical scholarship misread it? See, a guy with a PhD and he reads it in Greek. He didn't see verse 2? Of course he did. He's read verse 2, John 20, verse 2. So why does he still use these arguments? Because he's dishonest. He's demonized.